Hey everybody, it's me, Jamal Kelly, the Empowerment Coach, and here we are with episode 2 of As a Life Coach. So, I am so glad to be here to talk about today's topic because it's probably the most important topic that I talk to with all my clients. Let me move this at my lap. So, if you're new here and you've never met me before, because people are sharing this out, if you're new here, share this out with somebody who you know. So Ask a Life Coach is the weekly show every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, and so on. So every week you get to come here, we get to discuss a hot topic as it goes with your life. Today we're talking about if you loved yourself, which I'm really sure you all would like to get into that. But each week I want you to come here and get clarity about something that is going on in your life. Get validation for what you're doing right and what you can do better, and get empowerment for where you're trying to go, because sometimes we need to know that we got the stuff, right? So that empowerment will take you a long way. Okay? So, thank you. Let me see who's in here. So if you come on, go ahead and say hi, introduce yourself, let me know who you are, let me know where you're from, and we can have a little bit more of a conversation so I can answer some of your questions, because this is like Ask a Life Coach. And the reason why I'm doing this show is to give you the opportunity to have a life coach at will, pretty much, to where you can ask what you need to ask to get some great advice, right? Or a great life strategy if that's what you need. So, hey Brittany, how are you doing? Okay, so let's get into today's topic of discussion. We are talking about if you loved yourself. If you loved yourself. One of my biggest quotes that'll probably be on a t-shirt before you know it is, if you loved yourself and made yourself a priority, what would your life look like? Okay, if you loved yourself and made yourself a priority, what would your life look like? Everybody take a little moment to think about that. If I loved myself and made myself a priority, what would my life look like? What would I start doing? What would I stop doing? What would be my priorities? Where would I call home? What would I begin? Where would I begin? What would I change? If I loved myself and made myself a priority, what would my life look like? That's a good question. And I don't think enough people ask themselves that question on a regular, right? If you loved yourself and made yourself a priority, would you go after your dreams? If you loved yourself and made yourself a priority, would you really shoot your shot, right? So, think about that if you loved yourself, because that's going to be the topic of discussion. I know last week we talked about trust, but I really wanted people to begin trusting themselves so we can move into this week when we said, okay, if I love myself, I'm going to start making myself a priority. I trust myself. I know that I can do the things that I say I want to do, right? So, cool. I see we have Calvin. Hey, Calvin. We have Brittany. We have Daniel. Y'all be sure to share this out. Thank you so much for joining us. But Brittany says, I'm well. How are you? I'm great. I look good. I feel good. I'm the best. Okay? So I just want to throw that out there. So I'm going to start today's discussion talking about forgiveness. And the reason why I want to talk about forgiveness is because generally when we think about forgiveness, it deals with other people. And when it comes to loving yourself and making yourself a priority, that usually deals with other people too. So let's talk really quickly about forgiveness. I never, ever tell my clients, you need to forgive that person, or you need to forgive this, or you need to forgive that. I never do that. Forgiveness is a process that people have to do. It's like baking a cake. You know what I'm saying? If you take that cake out too early, it's going to be a mess. Okay, it may fall apart, it may crumble, it may not be well, it may not be healthy enough to eat, right? So when it comes to forgiveness, I would never, I would hope that a lot of you all watching this would choose your words as it goes with forgiveness. Because when you tell somebody, oh, you need to forgive that person, you need to forgive that, what you're really telling them is, your pain isn't real. Your pain isn't justified. what they did to you wasn't bad enough, right? So that's really what people feel like. Okay, well, it's like, okay, well, you're telling me to forgive. Well, maybe my pain isn't real. No, the pain is real. They feel that pain. So they need to go through a process of healing that pain, right? So when I say if you loved yourself and made yourself a priority, sometimes when it comes with forgiveness, what I'm really saying is you have to forgive yourself. Forgiveness really is the gift that you give yourself. Okay? And when I say it's the gift that you give yourself, whatever someone has done to you, whatever has went on in your past, whatever, and I'm not telling you that whatever anybody did is right. But somehow you manifested that situation, right? So you have to take in consideration what was your part in all of this, okay? And what was it that you really desired that this may have been a benefit to, that this may have pushed you further in life to get to what it is that you need? All negative experiences are not really negative experiences. Some of them are really blessings in disguise, okay? So when we're talking about forgiveness is a gift that you can give yourself, you really have to find the time to say, okay, well, I know that I went against my better judgment, right? I knew that this might not have been a good situation for me, but I did not make myself a priority in a way where I spoke up, where I spoke my mind, where I told a friend, where I got out of the situation. Sometimes we don't make ourselves a priority and we stay in the situation too long. Right? So sometimes we have to find room to forgive ourselves, because when you go against your better judgment, when you go against your better judgment, and when you go against your intuition, and when you really go against those inner feelings, right, that's saying, hey, this may not be good. I'm not going to say you can't blame the other person, but there's a self-betrayal that takes place when you don't put yourself first. You kind of betray yourself, and then you find yourself in situations that you're really, really, really not too happy to be in. So really, you have to find the room to forgive yourself and say, you know what? I played a part in this. I wanted something that my intuition or that my feelings or that somehow God let me know I wasn't going to get, but I pursued this anyway and ended up hurt. Okay? So all I'm saying is, learn to forgive yourself, okay? And learn to make yourself a priority to prevent yourself from getting into more and more and more and more of these situations. Are y'all with me on this? Okay. So, hey, Colin. So, moving on. So, when it comes to really making yourself a priority, right? Lucille Ball said, this is my favorite quote. She said, love yourself first and everything falls in line. You have to love yourself first to get anything done in this world. I'm probably going to get it tattooed somewhere on my body. I love that quote so much. Love yourself first and everything falls in line. Okay, so when we talk about in line, we want to really talk about alignment. Right? This is the next good point that I want to put out to you all. We want to talk about alignment, knowing what is for my highest good. Okay? So last night in the Vortex Party, it's a group that I host every Tuesday night to where everybody can come in. I can teach them about the law of attraction. We can have a positive discussion. In the Vortex Party, I talked about knowing the difference between doing something purposeful and doing something divine. Okay? Helping a friend, answering the call, being there for everybody, you know, doing your Mother Teresa, however that looks for you, that may be purposeful. And we all want to live a life of purpose. I agree. I do a lot of stuff that I feel is really, 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 really purposeful all the time. But the thing about it is there's a difference between doing something purposeful and doing something divine. And when we say divine, it's really knowing that what you're finna do that you feel is purposeful is really assigned to you, that the universe assigned it to you, that God has assigned it to you, right? So when you're doing things that's assigned to you, you're doing things that are in alignment for you, right? And how do you know if it's in alignment? Well, before you make decisions, sometimes you need to just take 2 seconds and say, is this something that I really need to do? Right? When that phone rings and you don't feel like answering the phone, ask yourself, do I really want to answer this phone? Okay? And then when you go against that better judgment, because more than likely it's going to tell you yes or no. Okay? And if it says no and you do it anyway, you're going to get on that phone and you're going to be like, oh my God, I'm wasting my time. I don't know why I did this. I wasn't in the mood. I feel so much worse now. I'm arguing. I got out of alignment. So when you want to live a very divine life, when you want to do things really divine and experience the divine, you want to make sure that you're doing things in alignment. And how you know that you're in alignment, it just feels like after you check in with your intuition and things like that, or check in with your feelings, it just feels like the universe wants you to do it. Like everybody, the whole galaxy wants you to do this. That's when you know you're doing something in alignment. It feels good. It feels like the right thing to do. And more than likely, when you're putting yourself first, you're going to do things in alignment. And you're going to do things that make you happy. And when you really, really put yourself first and you stay in alignment, you get the opportunity to manifest quicker, right? Because you don't have all the distractions. You don't have all the things upsetting you. You don't have all the things taking you out your flow. So putting yourself first and staying in alignment really keeps you in the flow of things, making your dreams come true, making shit happen. But a lot of us suffer from FOMO. Hey, a lot of us suffer from FOMO. So we feel like the feeling of missing out, FOMO, right? So some of us feel like, oh, if I don't answer the phone, maybe I'll miss something, even though I don't feel like doing it. If I don't go over here and hang with this person, if I don't do this, and if I don't do that, I may miss out on something. I may miss out on something. No, if you're in alignment, you miss out on nothing, right? Because everything is happening in a divine kind of way. So you don't have to always do things for everybody else because you're so scared that you're going to miss out on something, right? You're not going to miss out on anything. You're on your path. You have to follow your road. You have to do things in alignment, okay? So, and this all goes into if you loved yourself and made yourself a priority, you wouldn't betray yourself. You wouldn't step out of alignment. You wouldn't get out of the flow. You wouldn't find yourself in situations that you really didn't even want to be in to begin with. Everything in the universe is pretty much telling you, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Okay, well, I'm going to do it anyway because I may miss out on something. This may be my chance. And we do that with a lot of people. Let's talk about relationships really briefly because this is not the relationship week. We may talk about relationships next week. But you know how we have those people in our lives that we know that we are not in alignment anymore. The energy is not good. It does not fill us up. Every time we interact with these people, it feels like our energy is being taken away. We are being drained. It does not feel good, but we want to interact any fucking way, right? Because we think we can get what we want. Even though the universe is saying, you're not going to get what you want, you're not going to get what you want. It's like, well, I'm just going to keep trying, right? And keep getting ourselves in a deeper, deeper, deeper kind of hole. Getting farther, farther out of alignment. You got to stop that, okay? There are, billions upon billions upon billions of people in the world, but y'all like to waste y'all time thinking that this person is right for you when everything's telling you this person is wrong for you. And I'm gonna raise my hand because I'm one of them people, okay? But I'm in a place now because, especially like being a very positive person, I give people so many chances. And, which is so toxic for me because I know we're not in alignment. The energy isn't right. You know what I'm saying? I'm on my Kaya. The energy ain't right. Okay? Why would I engage in this when the energy ain't right? You can't do that. You got to stay in alignment. Because really, when you go against your better judgment, it really knocks you off your shit. Okay? And who needs that when we got so much work to do? So let me check into the comments. Hey, Courtney Bolton, how are you doing? I miss you too. Hey, Janice. Hey, Ginsu. Thank you so much for your comments, Brittany McFadden. You're the best. So the point I'm trying to make right now is you have to find room to forgive yourself, right? If you're going to start making yourself a priority, trust yourself. Forgive yourself. And then move into knowing what's in alignment for you. Knowing what's divine for you. And stop doing shit that you just think is purposeful. It sounds noble. It sounds good. It looks good in front of everybody. But when you know on the inside you're suffering because you're doing some shit you really don't want to do. Stop it. Okay? Just stop it. So, speaking of relationships, let's talk a little bit about self-love. Okay? When you put yourself first, you really begin to grow a lot of self-love. You really begin to love yourself because then it just seems like everything is going right. Everything is going good. Everything is going purposeful. Everything is going amazing. Okay? So you really want to get into putting yourself first because you get all that self-love. And I'm going to be honest with you. Self-love is the first love. Self-love is the last love. Okay? Self-love is the only love. Self-love is the only love. We think that we meet people that we fall in love with, and that's not really the sense. That's not really what's going on. We meet people in the moment that the alignment is so good, the energy is so good, it makes us feel more love within ourselves, right? It makes us love ourselves a lot more. Oh, this person is giving me great attention. I must be doing something right. There must be something amazing about me. It's not that person. You're saying there's something that's amazing about me. You begin to love yourself so much more. So I'm going to be honest with you. Self-love is the only love, right? But the thing about it is when you love yourself so much, you get to shine that love outwards. And then it just seems like you love everybody else. Positive people love everybody. Can't you tell? I really don't think Oprah hates anybody. I don't. I really don't think Oprah hates anybody, right? She's such a positive person. I don't think Ellen DeGeneres hates anybody. She probably hates what certain people do, but I don't think she hates anybody. She's such a positive person. But that's because she's so filled with self-love, right? So when you put yourself first, you're forgiving yourself, you're trusting yourself, you're getting yourself in alignment. It feels like you love yourself. You're walking on such a high because nice people, you got the right people around you. You're doing the right things. You're not doing anything that's taking you out your flow, so you're feeling really good about yourself. So sometimes we meet people that really fan the flames of love within us, and that fire just gets to going and burning so much brighter, and we're so full with self-love. But you only get to that place by putting yourself first. And y'all probably think this sounds really selfish, but it's not. Because I'm being honest. When people tell you you're being selfish because you're putting yourself first, what they're really saying is, hey, I want you to lay your life down real quick so you can do something for me. I want you to take yourself out of alignment real quick so you can do something for me. I want you to stop your way going down your path because I need you to do something for me. That's not right. That's not fair. So being selfish is really self-love. I'm going to be honest. And to be honest, when you are spending most of your time, and we have parents, we have grandparents that it seems like they're always stopping what they're doing something for somebody else. And then the next thing you know, they're sick, they're not feeling well, they're tired, they're exhausted. And that's because they keep taking themselves out of alignment. When you're out of alignment, you get exhausted. So when we're talking about being selfish, it's really a way of saying that, hey, I am staying in alignment. I'm doing what's great for me. I'm focusing on my self-love. Because to be honest, if you don't stay in alignment, if you don't be selfish, if you don't put yourself first, you really don't have shit to give anyway. Because you find yourself getting farther and farther and farther and farther behind. Then what you're going to have? Nothing. Because if you keep giving all of yourself away, if you keep putting yourself last, you're really going to fall apart. And then you have nothing to give anyway. So self-love is so very important. Being selfish is so very important. Thank y'all. I'm just taking a moment to check for the comments. Hey Lawrence. Hey everybody. Mike. So what I want you, and I'm gonna answer your question in just a second, Mike, but I'm gonna ask you all to share this out. If you're enjoying the conversation, get this to a friend that you know that's been putting themselves last. And you're going to be like, hey, girl, you can't put yourself last no more. Okay? So, go ahead and share this out. I'm going to take a moment and answer Mike's question. Mike says, but what do you do when people, your friends, he didn't put it in quotations, but I'm going to say your friends, get mad when you put yourself first? Well, that's the moment where you have to you got to take stock. You got to do an inventory. You got to check yourself out and say, okay, well, are these people in alignment with me, right? Are these people really in true alignment with me? Is the energy right? Because when you're putting yourself first, that means you're staying in alignment with all the good that can come to you. You're staying in alignment with everything that God is going to bless you with. You're staying in alignment with everything that's supposed to happen. Right? And that's what I'm saying. There's a difference between doing something purposeful and doing something divine. When you're doing something just because it's purposeful, because, oh, these are my friends, I need to help them, that's really purposeful, right? But is it divine? When you take yourself out of doing something divine, you end up fucking yourself up. Okay? So what to do when your friends get mad? You need to just let them know that, hey, that's not an alignment for me. Okay, I'm tired. And I wouldn't just tell y'all to go with just lying and making up excuses, but that's just not an alignment for me. I'm not feeling that. That's the energy ain't right with that for me. I'm not in the mood. Okay? And if we're friends, you have to be able to honor that. If we're going to be friends, we have to be able to honor each other. I'm not in the mood. Hold on, bitches. I'm not in the mood. And you got to honor that if we're going to be friends. And if you can't honor me, then there's something off in our relationship. And you have to be grown enough to say, okay, well, you know what, something's off in this relationship. It's not in alignment right now. We just can't be friends right now. Okay? And maybe down the road, when we've grown up a little bit, we've matured a little bit, we know a little bit more about life, and we've had a little bit more time to reflect on our relationship and reflect on the past, then we can say that, then we can say maybe where we were good, we'll be better. And where we were weaker, like this present situation, we'll be stronger down the road. Just because we can't be friends now don't mean we can't be friends later. But something's off in the alignment, and you're just not in alignment with me right now. Okay? And then Gensu said, sometimes those are people that he said, let them go. Sometimes that's what you need to be free from them anyway. That's true. Okay? So I hope that answers your question. Hey, everybody. Oh, the team's here. I see y'all. So I want this discussion to be about putting yourself first. And I don't want it to be about being selfish. It is about being selfish. Being selfish is very important because it says that, hey, I'm aligning with myself. I'm aligning with the better parts of me. I'm aligning with my intuition. I'm aligned with my true feelings. I'm aligned with my authentic self. And let me tell you, being authentic is your power, right? That is your biggest power. And when you go against your better judgment, you're giving your power away. There's no reason to do that. So, are there any more questions? Because I don't want to miss anybody, okay? Before I get into, because you know this show is only so long. It's supposed to be 30 minutes or 45. So I got a little time. So, any questions before I give y'all some tips on how you can really, and this may help you too, Mike. Give y'all a couple tips on some things that you can do to really find what putting yourself first really looks like. Because some of y'all been putting yourself last for so long and doing everything for everybody. You really don't even know what it looked like. Okay, well, I'm finna start putting myself first. Jamad, you got me motivated. I feel encouraged. I feel like I can do the damn thing. I'm finna get on down. I'm finna start being selfish. I'm finna start telling people no, you know. But some of you may not know what that looks like. So I want y'all to build a practice. So I got some tools for you all. And these tools require a little bit of writing. And here's to be honest, if you're going to put yourself first, you should be able to take a little time out your day to say, you know what, I'm going to write this down. I'm going to get some clarity about my life. I'm going to do an inventory. I'm going to check where my alignment is. I'm going to check with what's going on, right? So I'm going to give y'all a look. Hey, Chris James. Everybody, Chris James is in the building, okay? So, that's exciting. Chris James, share this out. But any questions? Because I know there's a delay, so I don't want to miss out on y'all. It's hard for you to say no to anyway. Okay, so this is what we're finna do. We're finna do something called the yes list. So this may be something you can do today, Mike. This is something I want everybody to do today. I'm going to do it myself because, you know what, this is my yes list, but I did it earlier this year, so my priorities make a change. So your yes list can be considered, this is your priorities list. What are my priorities? And to be honest, when you want to say no to your friends, you could just say, okay, you know what, that doesn't fall under my priorities right now, right? So, oh, thanks, Chris James. So, right. Let's talk about the yes list. What I want y'all to do today, okay, is take out a sheet of paper, get a pen, get a piece of paper. This is my yes list. Don't read my stuff. Can y'all see it? Hey, Ladora. So this is my yes list. So what you want to do is just write down this. At the top, what are my priorities? My yes list. Then ask yourself this question. What needs my attention at this time in my life? What needs my attention at this time in my life? Think about it. I'm putting myself first. I'm making myself a priority. You know, I'm loving myself first. What needs my attention right now? These are the things I'm going to say yes to. Always. These are my definite yeses. So what needs my attention right now? I wrote on mine, my physical and emotional health, my business productivity, writing time for my books, personal development, going to sleep on time, okay? Teaching, mentoring this group. I'm a mentor for a group of people right now, and that's a priority for me. Growing spiritually, learning more about my finances, writing, doing more videos, right? That's my yes list. That's what needs my attention right now, okay? So write that out. What needs my attention at this time in my life? And just go 1 to 100, 1 to 25, whatever comes to mind, that's what needs your attention right now. And then how you can take this a little bit further is once you write it all down, find out, go through, take an inventory, find out what the top 5 things are, okay? What are the top 5 things that need my attention right now? These are your definite yeses. So the reason why you need to know your definite yeses, so if somebody calls you, if the opportunity comes up, so my definite yeses are my physical, emotional health, growing spiritually, my business productivity, writing time for my books, and mentoring this young group. Okay, those are my definite yeses. So anytime somebody outside of myself comes to me with their own agenda, it has to fall into those 5 things for it to be a definite yes. If it doesn't fall in those 5 things, I'm going to think about it. If I say no, I'm not going to do it. If I say yes, I may do it. But the most empowering thing I could do is change my mind. If I change my mind, oh well. Okay, I'm staying in alignment. So, this is also what you do at the end. Once you come up with your yes list, you need to know what your no's are. So then you have to ask yourself this question. What do I need to let go of? These are the no's. At this time in my life, what do I need to let go of? What is not in alignment? What is not working for me? And I wrote too much social media. I wrote doing things, serving people out of guilt. I need to stop doing that. Unnecessary trips. Here I am in Houston, but this is a necessary trip, okay? So there were certain things that I need to let go of. Those are the things that are my definite no's, okay? If you pop up to me like, oh, hey, let's go to Atlanta. Oh, hey, let's go to wherever. I'm going to say no. Those are my definite no's. If it's not a money-making trip, I'm probably not going to do it, okay? Because it's just not in alignment right now. Oh, hey, Ladora, you're in Houston? Okay. Hey, Arthi. Hey, everybody. Hey, Renee. So, I hope the priorities list really works for you all. But if you want to take this, making myself priorities even further, I have an exercise for you. You know, I want to give y'all tools. I want y'all to come here and be able to come get tools when you come here that's going to help push you along. So this is one of my favorite books. I consider it my New Testament. It's called Ask and It's Given. And they have in the back of the book 20 different processes, I think 22 processes that you can do to raise your vibes or to help you get clarity on something that you're dealing with. Because to be honest, life is a class. Every day you're learning more about yourself, okay? You're learning more about yourself. You're learning how to love yourself more. So you want to continuously learn things about yourself because this is a class, right? So you want to say yes to yourself. So this process is called the Creative Workshop. And this takes multiple sheets of paper. So if you don't have a whole lot of time today, I wouldn't tell you to do this one. But if you have plenty of time because you know you're saying yes to yourself, you make yourself a priority today, this would be of the most interest to you to do the Creative Workshop. So what you do is you take out probably like 8 sheets of paper, okay? And you write on the top of one single sheet of this paper, you say, this is what I desire for my body. This is what I desire for my home, okay? This is what I desire for my relationships. And this is what I desire for my work, okay? You want to get clear on these 4 important areas in your life. If you're not clear on these areas, you're really going to put yourself behind because you're just going to be doing shit that don't really make sense. Okay? So you want to be clear on what you desire for your body. You want to be clear on what you desire for your home. You want to be clear on what you desire for your relationships. And you want to be clear on what you desire for your work, your career, your education, what you're trying to do, what you're trying to put out, who you're trying to be. You need to be clear on those things. Okay? So you want to write that at the top of these 4 sheets of paper. Okay? And then you want to really start writing about that. This is what I desire for my body, okay? I want to lose 10 pounds. I desire to lose 10 pounds. I desire to buy new clothes. I desire to go running. I desire to eat healthier, right? Do at least 4 things. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? So, get clear on what it is that you desire in these 4 different areas of your life. But this is where you put the manifestation energy behind it. This is where you get the God working on your behalf, okay, behind it. So then you have to tell yourself why you desire these things. Why do I desire to lose 10 pounds? I want to wake up every day. I want to feel good about myself. I want more energy. I want to look good in my clothes. I want to, tell yourself why. Because that really, really starts sending out those prayers and that manifestation, that energy that you need to make these things happen. And then you want to do that for each area. This is what I desire for my home. I want to get some feng shui going on. I want to rearrange this furniture, get good energy moving in. I want to throw a lot of stuff away. I don't want this old stuff taking up room in my house. I want to buy new glasses for company, whatever, right? You want to get clear on what you desire for your home. What do you desire for your relationship? I want to be a better husband. I want to be a better wife, first and foremost. I want to be a better parent. I want to spend time with my friends, but only in a way that feels good. I want to, what do I desire for my relationships? I want to heal a relationship with my old friend. I feel like now is the time. I want to heal a couple relationships. These are the things I desire for my relationships, right? So you want to get clear on that. Tell yourself why, right? Last but not least, this is what I desire for my work. I want a new job. I want to talk to my boss and get an understanding to where we can get along at work. I want to learn how to do drop shipping. I want to start a new business online. I want to, you see where we're going with this, and then you have to tell yourself why. Because that's what puts the oomph behind it, okay? So that exercise is called the Creative Workshop. Let me check the comments. Okay, ain't nobody saying nothing. Good. So, any questions? Because I'm about to wrap this thing up. Be sure to share this out. I'm about to wrap this thing up. So anybody, any questions? Mike, I hope we've helped you today. I'm just going to give myself some hearts while I wait. Don't y'all know I'm telling y'all to share this? I didn't even share it myself. But y'all could have shared it and tagged me to it. That would have been real helpful. Yeah. So any questions before I close out today? Do a quick little recap. Okay. So, quick little recap. We talked about if you loved yourself and made yourself a priority, what would your life look like? What would you start doing? What would you stop doing? What would you call home? Who would you call friends? What would you begin? What would you stop? Okay? If you loved yourself and made yourself a priority, you would forgive yourself. You would find room to say, you know what? This is the part that I played in a lot of situations. Okay? And this is where I'm trying to go now. I don't need that stuff with me anymore. I didn't say forgive other people, because when you go out trying to forgive other people, you're telling yourself that your pain isn't real and that pain is still there. If you want to heal that, you really got to find your place and how all of this happened. And if there was, well, I'm telling you, anything that negative happens to you, there's a benefit to it. If you find the benefit to it, you'll be easy to let go of that pain. Okay? So, another thing that we talked about is know what's in alignment for you. Know what's purposeful. Know the difference between what's purposeful and know what's divine. Know if the energy is right. Know if your intuition is telling you to do it. Know if your intuition is telling you not to do it. And then don't betray yourself. Okay? If you know it's not in alignment with you, don't do it, because then you'll betray yourself and then you find yourself hurt. You find yourself in a bad situation. You find yourself further and further behind. Know what's in alignment for you. Oh, thank you, Eric. Hey, Edward. Hey, John. Know what's in alignment for you. And then, last but not least, we talked about self-love. Self-love is the only love, the first love and the last love. we really don't fall in love with people. People feel us. Like when we're in alignment and when we know that this person is in alignment with us, we feel that alignment, and that alignment feels so good. It makes us love ourselves more. It makes us feel that, hey, I'm doing something right. Oh, I'm doing something right. I'm the best person. Okay? I am amazing. So you get so filled with love. It feels like you're in love with somebody, but really this person is coming to your life and you just find yourself more and more in love with yourself. So if you make yourself a priority, you won't be really seeking out that love to grow within yourself, right? You'll be making yourself a priority. Things will be going so good. You'll be loving yourself so much. And I'm going to tell y'all this really quick because we're going to talk about relationships next week, because I feel like this is important. But I want to throw this out here right now. To be honest, when we feel a little lonely, don't let loneliness lead you into the arms of the wrong person. Okay? Don't let loneliness lead you into the arms of the wrong person, because you know that's out of alignment. That's really not putting yourself first. When you think you're putting yourself first because you're like, oh, if I just have somebody, I'll feel so much better. No. Right? That's really kind of putting yourself last, because you're putting yourself out of alignment. So, I'm going to tell you this. Grow the self-love within yourself. Okay, grow that self-love. Get yourself in a blissful place. If you put yourself first, you will find yourself in time in a very blissful place. You'll find so much to appreciate about your life. And I'm telling you, like attracts like. If you are a blissful person, you're in a blissful place, you are going to attract a blissful person who's also in a blissful place. And then you will find that this relationship is so harmonious and so much in alignment with you. Bam, you're married. Okay? I'm just saying. That's my advice to you. It don't even take all that. Oh, thank you, John. So, that's all we talked about today. If you came in late, go ahead and watch the replay. Okay, go ahead and get you a piece of what we talked about. I know it's kind of a long video. Yeah, I done went 37 minutes, so I'm just going to say much love to you all. Keep vibrating higher. Enjoy the rest of your day. Get some feel good going on. Keep shaking, keep driving. Listen to some music, dance a little bit, get your energy going. Find yourself in alignment. Put yourself first. Get some priorities going on. Find out, get clear on what your priorities are. Okay? So, if you loved yourself and made yourself a priority, what would your life look like? That's all I got. I'm finna roll up out of here. Much love to you. This is Jamal Kelly, the Empowerment Coach. Check back in next week. Be sure to share this out. Oh, and if you need a life coach, go to thejamalkelly.com. Very easy. Sign up for a session. The first session is always free. Just because I'm nice. It's an alignment. Anyway, much love. Ciao.